Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're going to taste something. This is a result of the Mash Your Luck Challenge, or game that we play on Basic Brewing Radio. Something that Adam Ross of Twin Span Brewing and I came up with, and we play it with Scott Housel down in Florida, who is an excellent home brewer. But in that game, you take bitterness, you take ABV, you take color, you take country of origin and style of beer, and you randomize those characteristics, and then you come up with a beer that you've got to brew to. And you've done it as well. And later on today, we're going to be tasting your beer that you did that too. You might have already seen that. I don't know. So anyway, the characteristics that we came up with for me was high ABV, very high bitterness, gold, U.S. lager. And so we said, boy, that sounds like a malt liquor. So Chris Colby and I in another show got together and formulated the recipe for this beer.
It's very collaborative.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. So here's the recipe. I started with 9 gallons or 34 liters of water at 157 degrees Fahrenheit or 69 C. And into that I put 14 pounds or 6.4 kilograms of Vienna malt and 2 pounds or 900 grams of flaked maize. And I rested at 148 degrees Fahrenheit or 64 C for 90 minutes. At the beginning of what turned out to be a 2-hour boil, I added 2 ounces or 56 grams of Hallertau Magnum at 11.3% alpha acid for that whole boil. I chilled down to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and I added a starter of L17 Harvest, a 2-liter starter of L17 Harvest from Imperial Yeast. And I lagered or fermented at 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll put that on the screen as what that is in real temperature. The original gravity came out 1070, the final gravity 1012 for an ABV of 7.6%. So, in looking at it, it's high ABV. We've got that, check. Very high bitterness. We'll figure that out. Gold, I wouldn't call that gold. I'd say maybe because I boiled for so long, maybe it darkened the beer a little bit.
Maybe.
So I would call that what? What would you say? Amber?
Amber, or maybe copper.
Yeah. U.S. I used U.S. ingredients basically. Well, no, I didn't. I used Vienna malt.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a couple of strikes there. Cheers.
Cheers.
But the important thing is how it tastes.
Does it taste good? Ooh, that's hoppy.
It's
that's good.
Very high bitterness.
Yeah.
So check. Very high bitterness. Is it too much?
No.
I would call this more of, would you call this like a Vienna lager rather than I mean, it may be higher in alcohol than a Vienna lager.
Well, part of my problem is I don't know what a malt liquor is. I have no idea, really.
It's nasty is what it is. I bought one.
What I mean.
I bought one down the street.
All I can think of are like Colt 45 commercials from the late 70s.
Well, I bought a Mickey's very fine malt liquor,
I don't understand.
No offense, Mickey's, but it was bad.
Yeah, I don't understand the style, and I don't know if the style is a marketing style.
I think that, well, plus, when I was in college back in the mid '80s, at least in Arkansas, if a beer was over 5% alcohol, it had to be labeled as malt liquor.
Okay,
so it was like a legal designation.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me, and that's what I would have, postulated. That's something legal. I know in Arkansas we have to call mead honey wine legally.
Oh, legally, the commercial.
Yeah. And so I get that, but I just never did. And of course, I've been homebrewing since when, 1996? I think so when we started.
So, yeah.
Or somewhere in there. I've never heard of anybody brewing a malt liquor before because there's just no reason to do it.
Well, I think this is
actually this is really good.
Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I don't know. What I do know is that it's super tasty.
Yeah, it's really good beer.
It's really clean.
I think to me it's like West Coast IPA meets a Vienna lager.
Yeah.
It's not either one, but it's kind of both.
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid beer of some sort. It's a malt liquor.
I think it's tasty.
Yeah, it's real good.
I did a diacetyl rest after the primary, as the primary fermentation was slowing down. I took it out to room temperature, did a diacetyl rest. One thing, this harvest, our friend Dave Knott over at Small Batch Boutique over in Tulsa sent me this. It was supposed to be 2 days, and he had an ice pack for the yeast.
Yeah.
But it took 4 days, and that's the least of the problems I've had with the post office lately, but that's another story. So by the time it got to me, the ice pack had melted. So I made a 2-liter starter with what I had, and it was pretty slow in fermenting. It wasn't like a regular imperial pouch. Wow. So I chilled that down, poured the beer off of that yeast cake, and did another 2-liter starter on top of it. And boom, wow. that really took off, and it had no problem in fermenting this. So that. Especially with a big old lager like this, you really have to pitch the amount of yeast that you need. And I also used an oxygen stone and an oxygen tank to oxygenate the beer as well.
Nice.
So.
Well, it's very clean. It's malty, but not overly malty like a whole bunch of crystal malt was put into it. But it's got a nice maltiness to it. The hops are not too much, but it is very hoppy. I mean, there's a big bittering charge, and the Magnum carries a lot of flavor forward, I think. So, it does have that kind of giant hollow tower flavor to it. The head's great. I mean, head retention's really nice.
Stuck around.
Yeah.
Nice lacing. So I think I kind of blew it on on the challenge. I got maybe most of the characteristics that I was shooting for. I'll be interested, Adam and Chris and Scott haven't tried it yet. I sent some to them, and we'll try that on a episode of Basic Brewing Radio. I think it's a delicious beer.
It's good.
I think it's well fermented. I think it's well brewed. It's just it's not what I was shooting for, but I'll drink it all day. Well, not all day. It's 7.6%. So.
All right. Well, I'd sure drink this over a Mickey's any day.
No offense, Mickey's, but maybe offense. It was bad.
That's rough.
I bought a 40 of the Mickey's because I was gonna package this beer and send it out to the guys in 40-ounce bottles.
Oh yeah,
a malt liquor.
Yeah.
And then I had that one. Thank goodness I didn't buy more than one.
Just bought one bottle?
Yeah.
Oh my.
It was not good. Okay, so there you go. Or at least it's not my cup of tea. It was kind of diacetyl-y. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
If you like butter beer.
When I was stationed at Fort Polk, me and a buddy, whose name I can't remember now, but every day we'd get off work and we'd go down to the PX and we'd buy a 40-ounce. Usually Old English.
Sounds like a furniture polish.
Oh. Nothing like drinking warm beer in Louisiana.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It's good to be back. And we got more coming. This is the first of 4 shows that we're going to tape or record today. Well, wish us luck. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come and visit us online at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on homebrewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer.
That's super good.
It's tasty. It's not what I was shooting for, but sometimes accidents are happy.